Pigweed here. Today we review a lager and discuss drug boats, oil tankers, and Nicolas Maduro. Hello.
Hey, good evening, Pigweed. How's it going? How about some beer and conversation?
Well, that sounds like a good idea. What are we having?
Then we have a Mexican lager.
Okay, delicious.
Yeah, fantastic. So what's on your mind?
Well, I put shooting drug boats on our calendar a few weeks back.
Yeah.
You know, our topics calendar.
That was a big thing, yeah.
I said, what's with this shooting drug boats? Maybe we should talk about that.
Right.
Well, before the show came on, I had to modify the show. There are updates to the show we haven't even done yet.
Yes.
And now we've got seized oil tankers.
Yeah.
We've got kidnapped
seized presidents.
Seized presidents.
Yes.
All right, so we'll take these things one at a time and see how it goes.
Very good.
After we have a go at this.
All right, very good. So this is Dewey Beer El Trono.
El Trono, yes.
And it's got a picture of a beach chair and a little cactus
yes,
there.
El Trono is is Spanish for throne.
Regular old Mexican lager.
Regular Mexican lager. Tell me what you think you got there. Looks like a clear.
Yeah, if you're used to an American lager, a Miller, Budweiser, Coors, that sort of thing, it's that plus a little bit more serious on the malt, and a little bit more serious on the hops, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I thought it would. Sometimes there's a bit of a lime flavor that they put in there, as if you stuck a lime in your beer. I'm not getting that.
No.
I'm not getting the lime.
No, and I'm glad not to be getting it, to tell you the truth. Because if I want a lime in my beer, I'll put a lime in my beer. I don't want them to do that for me. But this is very pleasant. This is like a notch. This is one of those beers where if you're curious about craft beer and you want to go just a little bit up, you're a Miller Lite drinker, and you want to go a little bit up, this is a good one to try.
Might be first step.
That's right. Yeah. All right, so
let's just do drug boats.
Okay.
Drug boats.
I was of very mixed opinion about this drug boat thing, because you'd see the pictures and you'd say, look, they're not fishing. There's no fishing gear on these boats. They're clearly not fishing. They're clearly running drugs. They're clearly bad guys. Mm-hmm. But shouldn't we capture them?
Well, I don't. Let me back it up a little bit. Let's go back to the timeline.
Okay.
So January 20th of 2025, Trump signs an executive order that paved the way for criminal organizations and drug cartels to be named foreign terrorist organizations.
Okay.
So that you get the legalese that says, that gives you some more leeway, that gives you some more tools to deal with them. But that probably. I probably kind of remember hearing that. Didn't think it meant anything.
Right.
Then February 20th, designated 8 Latin American crime organizations as foreign terrorist organizations.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Then, let's see, September 2nd carried out its first strike on what Trump said was a drug-carrying vessel.
Right.
Departing from Venezuela and operated by Tren de Aragua.
Okay.
And so that was the beginning of and I don't know what we're up to now, maybe 20,
I don't know how
20
many
or 30 strikes.
Yes.
And including the infamous double tap, which we'll get at. So I get that I've always heard terrorism as, using violence to serve some political ends.
Right.
I don't see that.
No, delivering drugs is not the same thing. Now the cartels may be committing terrorism in some other way, right? Like a cartel might go to some business and terrorize them, or they might be terrorizing the government. The cartel might be engaged in terrorist stuff, but a boat full of drugs being delivered into Havana or being delivered into Miami, that itself is not terrorism.
Right. And even if you said that, in which they often say, these drugs, lead to the deaths of...
Okay, then that's wicked and that's wrong. It's just not terrorism.
Because it's not the intent. You don't want... And these drugs are not shoved up anybody's nose.
Yes.
They are taken willingly, and they are not, and you do not want to kill your...
Well, I'm okay, willingly is maybe pushing it, because once somebody gets addicted, then they're addicted to it. So there's, the question of willingly changes a little bit. But still, you're right. You're not trying to kill your market. You're not trying to kill the guy who's going to buy your next shipment.
I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't want to get into the legalese on all of these things because everybody's got their side and they can cite this statute and this other thing here. That's fine. I'm just going to just leave it at that. But I just wonder how they're redefining the word terrorism in the way that
in order to call a drug dealer a terrorist.
Right, and to say that because if they would bring in a boatload of anthrax to put into letters to mail, you know what I mean? It's really not the same thing as drugs. Now, having said that, kind of okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I have no sympathy for these people. If you guys are drug dealers, I want you dead. Yeah, I don't have any qualms about that. The thing I have qualms about is just because Trump says that's a drug dealer, therefore I can kill him. Right. That's what I have problems with. If they kill drug dealers, fantastic. But I don't like this idea of, I said he was a drug dealer, therefore I killed him, therefore it's okay.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, what else is going on? I mean, you have 5 Yamaha 250s on a boat with 2 guys and a bunch of bales of who knows what.
Oh, they're clearly drug dealers. No, there's no question that they're drug dealers. I agree with that. But still, they're entitled to being captured and put on trial.
But that's not practical. So, I mean, no military boat can keep up, can stop them. Only a helicopter can. Huh. And a helicopter, this is what I wondered. Don't we have, I thought we were always afraid of these EMPs. Yeah. Where you could fry the electronics, right? Because it uses spark plugs. So it uses, right?
There's electronics on a boat, yeah.
There's electronics on the motors themselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Would it stop it? Would it, I mean, after it's been started. Yeah. You don't need, I mean.
Yeah, you still need electronics ongoing.
To fire up the
So I think the problem with an EMP is it's not a directional thing. You can't I don't think you can.
That's what I'm saying, right? Could you? I mean, if it had a 50-foot beam that you could point at, then
at the boat,
and then
it sounds like Batman.
Just don't know why we can't develop that. But without that, I don't know what other recourse you have. You can't stop.
You tell them to stop, right? You tell them to stop, and they don't stop, and then what do? Okay, so. There's a legitimate argument there. If you see this boat racing across there and we say, stop, we want to investigate you.
My reservation is tiny in the kind of way that my reservation about the death penalty. Mm-hmm. Like the fact that the state is getting rid of a completely worthless, awful human being doesn't bother me. Yeah. It's just what if you're wrong?
Yes.
Exactly. Even if you lock a guy for 30 years and you realize you made a mistake, well, sorry about that. Here's $1 million. Hope you can enjoy the rest of your life. You're not dead. And so in this, it's what if he's not actually a drug dealer and you've killed him? But
and that's why we have trials and everything else.
Right, but given the fact that you can't stop him, I guess the 98% or whatever. So anyway, that's not the only thing that's going on out there.
No, we have to talk about the double tap, though. Oh, yeah, the double tap. So there's this boat that's clearly a drug boat, and we're trying to stop them, and we fire a missile at them or whatever, and it knocks the boat out. Right. But there's still people alive, and then they're trying to radio in for help or something. They're trying to get back on the boat.
Get back onto the boat.
Yeah, trying to keep going, and then we hit them again and kill them. And apparently the justification for that was that the mission was to destroy the boat, and the boat wasn't destroyed, so they had to go at them again.
Or that they were trying to resume the fight.
Yes, just say. It's not like they were out there with a white flag saying, "We give up, come pick us up."
We didn't really give them a chance for that. But I heard this guy. He says in Afghanistan. When you identified a bunker or whatever, you hit it, guys go scurrying everywhere.
And you shoot them.
And you kill them.
Yes.
He's not like, well, they're not engaged in the fight any longer.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not carrying weapons or anything.
Yeah.
Well, no, but they're going to the intention is to get away and regroup.
Yeah.
And,
I think the difference is the way the police would handle a situation versus the way the military would handle the situation. So the police, like if you're running away from a police officer, he can't shoot you.
Right.
Right? If you're running away from a soldier, he can shoot you.
Right. And so maybe that is part of the terrorist designation. Right?
Yeah, maybe.
Like, when you say, I mean, you're allowed, the rules change when you say this is
you're
a
saying
terrorist,
this is no longer
not
a police action.
He's not a criminal, he's a
He's not
terrorist.
a criminal, he's a terrorist. That's right. So
right.
maybe that's what it is. So maybe we just need to redefine, like say, look, the rules for terrorism, well, that's basically what Trump did. The rules for terrorism now also apply to these guys.
I'm not entirely sure how they have defined
how they did it legally and everything
terrorism,
else,
but you know, when you hear somebody run off their legalese, you're like, all right, I guess that's how you justify it. I'm sure you knew these questions were coming ahead of time, and so you thought this through, and so it all makes sense to you. And I ain't going to fight you about that.
Right.
So then, before we could do the show, they start seizing oil tankers.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what is going on with that?
So apparently, what they would do, well, we have like sanctions on Venezuela that they can't sell oil various places or whatever. And what they've been doing is getting around those sanctions.
But is everybody else on board with these sanctions?
I don't know.
Or is it just us saying you can't sell your oil and somebody else can buy that oil?
Like who else? The UN? I mean, who cares what they say? I mean, I guess the question to me is the United States tells Venezuela, you can't do this. Right. And like, what more, or who else do we want? Do we want to ask the Archangel Michael? I mean, what other authority are we looking for to say, we're telling you can't do this? Right. So what they've been doing is they've been changing the flags on their ships. Right. They've been going out and, pretending they're from some other country and
right. And those are violations
of international shipping laws.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
International shipping laws. And frankly, you have no flag at all.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you're outside your jurisdiction with no flag at all, anybody can get on your boat. Anybody,
right. Yeah.
Anybody can
come search you and So what are you doing out here?
Yeah.
Right. So that's just the way it is.
Right. And that's
what happened recently with a ship that was trying to flag itself as a Russian ship that left Venezuela and was going some other place, and then we were trying to chase it down. I don't understand why it's a hard thing to chase down. They're not very fast. I don't get that.
I mean, I'm sure a battleship is faster than an oil tanker.
Yes, you would think so. So, and anyway, it tried to flag itself as a Russian ship, and we captured it anyway. And the Russians are saying that's piracy, and I think our response is too bad.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
And so then we just keep the oil for ourselves?
Well, that seems to be weird.
I'm hearing the tanker back?
I'm hearing that we are taking the oil and that we're going to sell it, but then the money is going to go back to Venezuela or something like that. So I don't exactly know what's going on.
You get the commies out of power. I'm all for them. I'd love to see that country.
See, to me, that's the big issue. Like, everybody was, why are we picking on Venezuela? And at first, the justification was that they were a drug pipeline.
Yeah.
And people were saying, well, most fentanyl doesn't go through. Well, fentanyl isn't the only drug. Apparently, a lot of cocaine goes through Venezuela.
So that's the measure. This is how bankrupt CNN is.
I know. Yeah.
They're like, they say 100,000 people a year die from fentanyl, but guess what? This is cocaine. There's only 22,000 people die of cocaine. Like, wow! Oh boy, you got me there.
Yeah.
Well, then that's we.
It's okay then.
We shouldn't get involved.
That's right,
because it's not 300,000.
It's not as bad.
It's only 22,000, right. And so you got me there.
Yeah, and also the people the drug cartels that are selling cocaine are also doing other things, like some junkie on the street goes out to buy whatever he's going to buy. I don't think the dealer on the street cares. He's got some cocaine, he's got some fentanyl, he's got some marijuana, he's got all the different kinds of things, So it all kind of goes into the same sort of pool. But So a lot of people were saying, oh, Venezuela is not a major source of fentanyl. And it's like, okay, fine. But it is a conduit for cocaine. A lot of cocaine production goes through Venezuela and from Venezuela to the United States. And apparently that's what these boats were doing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So there is a lot of...
And you know, it's not just they spot a suspicious boat. They actually see... They know that it's leaving a known drug port.
Sure.
Controlled by this gang.
Yeah.
And, you know, they actually did strike a port. Where's my stats on that? So they...
Why else do people get on great big boats like that and cruise from Venezuela to the, you know, what's your other reason? Delivering Jamaica, bananas, right? Yeah. In a speedboat.
Going 70 knots. This is in my timeline here. So say this is, here you go. December 30th, the CIA was behind the drone strike at a docking area, believed to be used by Venezuelan drug cartels. According to it is the first known direct operation on Venezuelan soil. So as of even December.
So to me, the bigger question. So we've got the boats, we've got the oil tankers. The bigger question is, why do we care so much about Venezuela?
Well,
and that I think is the easy question to answer.
You're right about that.
Because Venezuela has been helping the Chinese establish a beachhead in Latin America, which is absolutely not in our interest. We don't want
the Russians and Iran and Hezbollah.
Yes,
are all benefiting from these massive oil reserves.
Venezuela has huge oil reserves now because they've got a stupid socialist system. They haven't been effectively using them, but still. China is probably thinking, well, we'll get in there and we'll figure out how to get the oil out of the ground.
Yeah. But you see, they got the guy interviewed. He's like, well, the Americans are just going in there for the oil. He goes, what do you think the Chinese and the Russians are there for? He says, you think they're there for the recipe for arepas?
What's arepas?
A Venezuelan torta meal,
right?
You know.
Yeah. So the Chinese, the Russians, the Iranians are trying to get this beachhead in Venezuela, which, if you look at a map, is fairly close.
Yeah.
We don't want bad guys there, and it's absolutely in our interest to kick the Chinese out of Venezuela.
When was what president was James Monroe? He was pretty early. He was in the first 5, right?
Yeah.
So this is early 1800s,
right?
America was already like, all right,
this is our hemisphere.
We were talking to England and France, and Spain at the time.
So get out.
Look here, guys. The whole thing.
Yes.
All the way from the North Pole to the South Pole.
Down to the tip of Tierra del Fuego.
Yeah. We don't want you guys messing around over here. And now we've got not so longer the Monroe Doctrine.
That's the Donroe Doctrine.
That's hilarious. But it's the same, I think. This is our backyard.
Yes.
We don't want you jerks there. And we want that oil flowing free. We're not... Just like we didn't get enough. What was the oil benefit? No blood for oil in Iraq. What did we ever get out of that anyway?
Nothing. Originally, they said that we were going to get the oil.
Yeah,
it's like okay,
and they're like, no blood for oil. I'm like, well, I mean,
I don't know what's wrong with that.
Yeah, if there's something worth fighting for, how about the most important resource on the planet? Yeah. I mean, I was never bothered by that argument at all.
Yeah.
So now in Venezuela, even if we don't personally get all the oil, which is fine, just to get it on the market.
Yeah.
It's going to drive down the price.
Yes.
And with
yes, and that is a big benefit. But in my opinion, the overriding big issue is get China out of there.
So you've got get our enemies out of our backyard.
Right.
You've got get the oil on the market.
Right.
Lowering the cost. Stop the drug pipeline.
Right.
And how about this? How about letting 25 million people who used to enjoy prosperity and freedom?
Yes.
Enjoy it again. I only met a few Venezuelans over the last, say, 20 years. Mm-hmm. But they're, to me, the ones I talked to were like Cubans. Mm-hmm. They were patriotic Americans who hated the government the government of their homeland.
Yeah.
And, wishes they could go back and live like they did 25 years ago.
Something like a third of the people of Venezuela have left. It's a huge number of people have left Venezuela because of socialism sucks, and they've been ruining the economy because of political persecution, because they've been arresting people, executing people. I mean, Maduro is not a good guy, and he's caused this mass exodus, which is destabilizing other countries in the region. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's a catastrophe in a whole bunch of other ways. It's definitely in our interest I think I want to see a pivot to South America. I want us to quit spending so much of our time and treasure on Europe and focus more on South America.
And
I mean, they're our neighbors.
How? I mean, I'm sure there's an economic explanation for this. How can we, the factories that we have in China, we can't put them into Mexico or in Jamaica and Honduras and wherever.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, doesn't the shipping cost alone, I don't know what the reasons are, why it's so much, or maybe we'd have to pay them a living wage and in China you don't, or something like that.
I don't know. I would very much like to see us focus on South America and make friends with as many countries in South America as we can. I'd love to go down there.
Yeah.
But let's get the Americas, North and South, aligned more and tell the Chinese and the Russians and everybody else to stay the heck out.
That's like we've been saying since 1820.
That's right. I'm 100% for that. So I heard
that before the socialists came into power, Venezuela had the third largest GDP on the planet.
Yeah.
It was United States, Switzerland, Venezuela.
They were the best in South America for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and then you have a bunch of socialists come in and ruin the whole thing.
Well, this is the thing, right? So now the country is getting rich. So what happens? Somebody says, "Hey, all that money isn't being evenly distributed." Right. So we're gonna say, you vote us in, and everybody, it won't be just the riches. Everybody will be rich.
Right.
And then you nationalize. So who was getting the oil out? The Americans and the Europeans. Yeah. Have the ability to process all that oil, and so they've just ruined their own market.
They've ruined their own economy. People are leaving because, like, weren't there stories a couple of years ago about people shooting and eating dogs on the streets in Venezuela?
Yeah, medicine, toilet paper.
Right.
They get electricity 4 hours a day.
Right. It's a catastrophe because. Guess what, kids? Socialism doesn't work. And Venezuela is a prime example. Now, of course, it's socialism plus dictatorship and incompetence. But
so they masqueraded because they got voted into power legitimately. And
the first time.
Hugo Chavez.
The first time.
And then he served a couple of, I don't know how many terms he served. He died, Maduro became president. And then he lost an election, but pretended that everybody, it was like 2-1.
Yeah.
It was like 60-30 or something like that.
But he just said, never mind. Well,
yeah.
Never mind. Forget that election.
What you guys were thinking. And, I just saw today he has, that Switzerland acknowledged that he has 130 tons of gold bars.
Wow.
Just like unbelievable amount of money.
Wow.
Just for himself.
Okay. Well, Trump is going to take all that and make a bunch of toilets. So bottom line, I realize there's going to be some legal wrangling. I realize that there's going to be some rough edges around this whole thing, but absolutely death to drug dealers. Right. Absolutely kick the Chinese out of South America. Absolutely get rid of the stupid socialist communist dictator down there in Venezuela and get something going for the people down there.
We got to Delta Force real quick.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What was it? 88 minutes.
They go in there. So one of the things that's really interesting about this is Venezuela had Russian air radar or whatever, and
Yeah.
Chinese air defense missiles,
Right.
and we just made monkeys out of them.
Yes.
We just like tore them apart.
And the Chinese were there. There was a delegation of Chinese that came in the day before.
Yeah.
And they were literally, I don't know where they were staying, but they were in Caracas.
Yeah.
And they watched it from their hotel rooms.
And we just tore them apart.
I mean, apparently there's a Daily Wire documentary on how it actually went down. But it was like 150 different airplanes.
Yeah.
They cyber warfare to take out, some things we blew up with missiles, but other things we just took the power out.
Right.
And then went in. And how did you keep
How do you say
this?
password in Spanish?
How do you? Yeah, I don't know. How you planned for this for as long as they did.
Yes.
And not one peep.
Yeah.
Not one peep got
Isn't
out.
that amazing?
They built a mock
Yes.
compound in Kentucky to practice on,
yes.
right? Like what room he's going to be in.
Yes.
They've been following his every move, where he goes, what he wears, what he eats, and where he's going to be.
The coordination was astonishing, and they pulled
then
it
I
off
love this.
without a hat.
Then you get Hakeem Jeffries going, "How come they didn't tell me about this?"
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah. So that the big problem now. So this is a difficult issue because on the one hand, I don't like the idea of the president being able to just do whatever the heck he wants without Congress. So you do need that. We do have three branches of government for a reason. There should be more consultation, but the presidents will say, "Yeah, but if I tell Congress, they'll leak it,"
Of course,
which is absolutely true.
100%.
So what has to happen is when somebody leaks information like that, they need to be hanged from the Washington Monument.
Well, George Washington would be going, why haven't you guys hung? Why haven't you hung these guys already?
Exactly. If they're
And that's what
leaking,
they did.
if they're leaking that kind of information, hang them, firing squad, whatever it is. Yes, we need the president to get the approval of Congress. I completely agree with that. But if Congress is going to be a sieve like that, I totally understand why presidents are going to say, "Well, never mind that."
Yeah. I mean, if you can't kill them, then you just have to keep them out of the loop.
And
or
pretend
you could
to have
just,
a legal justification.
Or you could just kill them. You don't have to kill all of them.
Yeah.
Just one or two. And that would...
We didn't say that.
I mean, properly charge them with treason.
Yes.
And then hang them. And then hang them because that's the penalty. So that's I'm okay with that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. There are a lot of things that have just become jokes. Like the way we treat classified materials become a joke. Allowing Congress to leak stuff is a joke. There are so many things in our justice system that have just become it's not justice. It's something else.
Yeah. You right. You mean, you bring all the receipts, you show all the crime, and they go, and we're outraged.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why isn't that guy going to jail?
Yeah, why isn't somebody in jail? Why? Yeah, where are the handcuffs? Come on.
Now, so, they don't use the term kidnap because that's just not the right term. Because,
right.
All right, so here, let me give you some dates here. March 2020, a federal grand jury in the Southern District of New York on narco-terrorism, cocaine importation, and related charges, Nicolas Maduro was indicted.
Right.
So, it went through the process. You have to...
It's not like we just picked some random guy from somewhere.
We
and went
don't
and
like
arrested him.
that president because he's not giving us his oil, so we're going to get him. No, this indictment has been sitting around for 5 years.
Right.
They presented the evidence, right? I mean, that's how you to go to trial. You have to present evidence to a grand jury and then say, yes, you have enough evidence to go to trial.
Right.
And issue, and either you've already caught the guy and you have him in custody, or you haven't and you issue a warrant for his arrest. So that's what this is. That's why there were FBI agents. I was like, in coordination, they said all of the branches of the military and the police force. I'm like, why are we sending, what are you just sending some street cops along with the Marines or what? It's really, the FBI was doing the arresting.
Right.
The military was there to make sure that the FBI doesn't get killed.
Yeah. Right. So the military comes in, knocks out the power, knocks out the air defense, shoots the bad guys and says, "Okay, go ahead."
And the guy with his blue and gold FBI jacket steps out of the.
Not that FBI agents aren't badasses.
They are badasses.
They are badasses
but
too.
But they need Delta Force to clear that path.
They can't take care of anti-aircraft. Yeah. So here's the other aspect of this story that I think is interesting to think about. How much Venezuelan money was bribing congressmen?
All right, the 2020, stolen election theory, was always mentioning Venezuela, but it just sounded like such a kooky.
Yeah, what does Venezuela have to do with it?
It's just like an Alex Jonesy kind of a thing.
It does.
I'm starting to hear rumblings that that's exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
I don't want to relitigate the 2020.
Yeah.
But yes, well, there you go. There's another benefit for cleaning up Venezuela.
Stop that money from flowing into our Congress. Yeah. All right. Okay, so there is some gray area. There are some rough edges about this whole thing, but my reaction is, well done, boys.
Yeah. So I'm so impressed. Let's see now this transition. Because right now, all you have is the vice president being the president, who's part of that same administration, is also a piece of crap.
Right.
Gotta get rid of her. But Donnie Boy says, well, basically, we're running the show. Anyway, she can if she wants to get on board and pretend that she's the president, she can until we hold actual elections.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, I thought, since the Nobel Peace Prize winner was the opposition candidate from Venezuela, who dedicated her Nobel Prize to Donnie Boy.
Yeah.
I thought, that was the immediate plan. But, people on the ground are like, she doesn't have that kind of support. You can't just stick her in there when the entire military is still loyal to the previous administration.
Yeah, so, it's a little more complicated.
It's much more complicated.
Marco is going to have some work to do.
Yes, he is. He's not doing anything anymore.
I know.
I mean, after he gets back from buying Greenland, you could go down there and become president. I think he speaks Spanish, right?
So, that's right. He should do all right.
He should do all right.
And Marco has come a long way in the last few years.
Oh my God! I call him the most improved player of the whole administration.
Absolutely, he has really transformed over the last several years, and I kind of like what I'm seeing.
I do too.
Yeah. All right. So.
All right. Yeah.
Down with the bad guys and up with Venezuela. Let's see some prosperity. Yeah. Let's see some millionaires developing in Venezuela. Let's see people.
Let's see a Trump vacation spot on the Caribbean.
Go. Yeah,
right there.
Fantastic.
Probably beautiful.
All right. Cheers. Thanks so much for listening to Beer and Conversation with Pigweed and Crowhill. Remember to visit us at pigweedandcrowhill.com or send us an email at pigweedshow@gmail.com.